It's exactly 9 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. I am Andy Ngube. This is Sports That Amplified with Andy. It's a full team though. I'm just a voice, but behind it, there's a lot of guys that make sure that we set this thing off. It's an hour well packed with lots of different creative minds that put it all together. And to them, I say thank you. An ode to you today, Timothy Miranda, Malcolm Glovu, Thabo Nkwala, Biso Sport. We appreciate you. Yeah? Ooh, what are you saying? Speak there. So Malcolm is the technical producer of this show, but he makes every opportunity to speak on the air. Hey, he takes it. If there's an opportunity to say something, you're running my intro. I work so hard on my intros. What do you want?
Biso Sports or Biso Snaps?
What did I say?
You said Biso Sports.
You should have let me just go, my man. It was my intro. Biso Snaps. 10 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Thank you so much I wondered, is she excited or stressed? I'm not sure. I couldn't tell. I heard she had many representations in the studio in her colleagues, Touch, Lindy, Morena. But I'm not sure if Lute is as confidently excited or nervously, sheepishly excited for the Metro FM Awards. She's going to be hosting, guys. But I think you forget. Look at where she's come from. Look at what she's done in her career. Everything she's done in her career has led her up to this point. So excited to see what Lute Love and Proverb are going to be delivering this Saturday. You're going to be hearing a lot of Metro FM talk about the awards on the airwaves. It's because we're excited as a brand. We're excited. No other radio station can do what we do. Nobody else can say, hey, let's gather the entire of the music industry in Bombela and let them get something that, because it says Metro FM Award, is going to be appreciated. I've seen on the airwaves, man, on the socials rather, everybody saying, hey man, this is the one I want. And it's such an exciting time for us here at Metro FM. We look forward to it. Are you going to be in Bombela over the next week? We're going to be there. Starting tomorrow, I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces, and you're going to be standing in line and hear voices, and you're like, hey man, that voice, that is Timmy T, that one. I've heard that voice before. That's Malcolm Glover. I've heard that voice before. If you're in Bombela, it's eyes and ears peeled. It's 11 after the hour 6. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's an exciting one for us because the PSL football every season has an opportunity to have an intake of 2 teams from the lower stream, one automatically and the one through playoffs. But many don't keep abreast as to what's happening in that lower league. It's getting to a point where, 5 games to go. 5 games to go till somebody welcomes them into what Kuja Mankwa used to call the land of honey and milk. That is the DSTV Premiership. That is where umnotfo ukhona. So what's going on in that lower league? We'll get into that. I know a lot of you want to speak about Mamelodi Sundowns. They didn't pitch up for some presser that was scheduled. There's games galore back to back. I was at the game yesterday. They beat Kukune. A tough game. Was an entirely new starting 11. Even seeing a goalkeeper injured in Onyango, who hasn't played a lot of games, and then a goalkeeper that had never played in Jody February coming in as well to take on the reins. It's just, and people say there's a big squad at Sundowns. They're able to do it. Mickey, who we have on this show regularly, went and did the homework. Sundowns at Klorko have just over 40 players, 42 players, I think, which is 43 players, which is the same squad number almost as Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch and Cape Town Spurs. Is what the maths had said. That's what he said. I mean, I remember seeing it there. So their numbers aren't that far off. But Sundowns have a potential of playing 8 different tournaments in one season. 8. It's 3 domestic trophies, including the league. That's 4 already. Then you've got the AFL that they played all the way to the final, so they played every game. That's 5. Then you've got the Champions League, which they're at the semi-finals leg. So if they win this, they can go on to play Club World Cup as well. And mind you, I say 8 because you've got to count Bafana in the tournament they had because of the bulk of Sundowns players. And then I looked at their upcoming games. They're playing a game every 2 to 3 days. Should we be feeling sorry for them? Should we? Well, I don't know what we should be doing, and everybody should have their own opinions and entitled to how they feel about what the situation Sundowns is in. But all I can say is, you look at all the other teams from last 16 in particular, of the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. You go to the leagues where these teams play their football. The only game ES Tunis played was Sundowns on Saturday. They're going to go on now to play Sundowns on Friday. There's no games in between. You can go to Al Ahly, you can go to Mazembe, you can go to all these teams and look at how differently they're treated in those leagues. Should we feel sorry for Sundowns? Should we all be, feeling the plight of Sundowns? I don't know. Each to their own as far as your opinions and your thoughts are concerned. Whether you're a Sundowns fan or not. But these are the facts. They didn't show up for a press conference. The likes of Mazola Molefe, Veli Mnyandu were all their cameras set up. Sundowns didn't. They played a game last night after having just arrived from 13-hour travel. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know if they should be getting a lot more grace or not. All I know is that they still went out last night and scored 2 goals to secure 3 points, which leaves them with just 6 points away from winning the league. They could do it in their next 2 games if Stellenbosch doesn't drop any points. That's all I know. And they still remain invincible in the league. That's what I know. It's 15 after the hour 6.
Let's go.
3 days. That's right. Only 3 days left to the penultimate Metro FM Music Awards. Hurry and get your tickets now at CompuTicket.
The winner is...
Don't miss out on South Africa's biggest music awards in Mbombela, Mpumalanga.
Everyone is just on edge. We want it to begin.
Saturday, 27th April. Metro FM. Black to the future. Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
The African football storyteller and whisperer, Dennis Serum Kofi, for the very first time here on South African radio. You think Ronwen Williams at the moment is one of the best players in world football.
He's a front runner for the African Football of the Year.
Tell me why.
This year, you can't really mention an African player who has a good performance with his club and national team. Apart from Williams, the 2023 African Football League, that was the start of the Williams story. He eventually ended up winning that trophy and also winning the best goalkeeper in the African Football League. Then the big one came in, the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. It was the Williams show. He was the best goalkeeper at the AFCON. He made the most saves at the AFCON. He made the most clean sheets at the AFCON. Prevented the most goals at the AFCON. He was the best player at the AFCON.
I agree with you there.
And I think we should really be pushing for him to get at least a nomination for the Ballon d'Or Best Goalkeeper of the Year, because he's the best footballer of the year. And I think he really would deserve it if he gets it.
6 to 7 p.m.
The Metro FM Music Awards weekend is here. Catch the official pre-party at the Prestige Lifestyle Grand in Mbombela on Friday the 26th of April. Featuring Gubza the Small, Mahoo, DJ Storky, Black Diamond, The Musical Chef, Emo, plus Metro FM's Naked DJ, Lulo Cafe, Lemmy's Holworthy. Get your tickets at CompuTicket. Table bookings available from Prestige Lifestyle Grand. Hashtag MMA24. Black to the future.
They say nothing ever lasts. But what about the Fast and Furious franchise? Or showing Anaconda 2 for Friday Action Night? Or how Brooke is still forgiving Ridge Forrester like 50 seasons in? And then there's Burger King's Whopper Meal deal, which is still going strong. So get your hands on 2 flame-grilled Whoppers topped with the freshest ingredients, plus 2 portions of crispy golden fries and 2 bottomless drinks for only 130 Rand. Only at Burger King, where good things do last.
A massive share of 3 million Rand is up for grabs in the Hollywood Bet Spinner Zonke Jackpot Race. Bet for 2 Rand or more from 8:30 p.m. every Wednesday, Friday and Saturday night. Hollywood Bets, take a spin with us. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Buy your next vehicle at Auto Pedigree and get up to 50,000 Rand cash back. That's right, 50,000 Rand cash back into your pocket when you choose from a wide selection of quality used low-kilometer Toyotas, VWs, Suzukis, Kias, and much more. For more information on this great deal, visit autopedigree.co.za or an Auto Pedigree dealer near you, because you deserve a great deal.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
Opani Munyai is going to be our guest in just a few. But firstly, breaking news from yesterday's story. Remember, we went all the way to Ghana to speak about, I said it was a bit of a history lesson as to why the two nations in Algeria as well as Morocco have been at each other's throats for years. It's something called the Sand War over territory. And when the Moroccans arrived in Algeria, they had a map of Morocco which included the territory that has been fought for so many years, the 1960s when the Sand War began. And they said, you're not coming in here with a representation on your kit of that map that is on you, because that map includes what we have been fighting about for years. But CAF has had a ruling. I see here that CAF has decided, after a meeting concluded today, to award a 3-0 first leg win to RS Berkane. Also, CAF has asked the Algerian team to play a second leg game, which will take place in Morocco on Sunday, or they will be banned. So that is the conversation that's been currently had at the moment. 3-0 and 3 points. Well, I mean, the points really don't matter in this regard, is it? But that's what it is at the moment. But the story that I was telling you about a little bit earlier was in and around Mamelodi Sundowns, right? They were there. They were in Klorkop. The players were there from last night's match, and the coach was there as well. But they were busy doing other things, and they didn't come out for 2 hours, I'm told. Mazola Malefer, of course, is a regular on the show. He was somewhat of a ringleader that was out in Klorkop. That's the man whose tweets I saw first. I am told, though, and, you know, there's a professionalism in most teams in the DStv Premiership, and Sundowns is one of those teams. Kaizer Chiefs is one of those teams. Orlando Pirates, Stellenbosch, Cape Town City. I can go on. There's teams that have a certain level of professionalism that run through them, and one would expect that Sundowns is one of those teams. But they missed the ball somewhat today. They didn't come out. But I do know that the coach, Rulani Mokoena, is not something that he's proud of, the fact that they've missed this out. It was a scheduling thing that went wrong, and I am told that there will be an apology that will be sent out from the coach to members of the media. So we do expect that to happen there. With that being said, take a look at the schedule that Sundowns are facing at the moment. And once again, you are fully entitled to feel however you want to feel about Sundowns, and whether you feel bad for them or not with what they have to do this season still. The games they have to play, how often the games are, etc., correct? You can feel however you want about them. But here it is. On Friday, the 26th, 8 o'clock, they play ES Tunis in the Champions League. On Monday, the 29th, is the TS Galaxy match. You remember the TS Galaxy match has been brought forward to Monday because that's the game that they were supposed to have played. Kaizer Chiefs on Thursday. Then on Sunday again, they play Stellenbosch. Then 2 days later, on Tuesday, it's Royal AM. That's 4 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 12 days. I don't know. You're entitled to your thoughts and your opinions. It's 086-000-2160, 060-552-7303. 8 tournaments. 8 tournaments, because yes, Icon Bafana was a bulk of the key players of Sundowns. 8 tournaments is what they could potentially play this season, and it's a team that goes close to, if not all the way to the end of all of these tournaments. One which is mandatory, the league. Champions League already in the semi-finals. The AFL all the way to the finals. Still in the Nedbank Cup. Let's hear now from Umqeqeshi Rulani Mokoena on fatigue and not being appreciated. I'm hearing this appreciation word a lot nowadays. Steve Barker felt unappreciated as well.
I'm tired. I must tell you, I'm very tired. And there's a lot going on, but no one cares. I've just got to get on with it. I have to do press conferences. Maybe I've got 6 press conferences to do every week because I play 3 games. I've got to talk to you. I've got to plan training. I've got to watch 4 or 5 games. Esperance, I had to watch 8 games of Esperance. I've got to then do corrections. And people will say, yeah, but he's talking about fatigue and being tired. The player's tired, but he's got 46 players, but there's only one head coach. And the head coach suffers with the players too. He's got work to do. And I'm allowed to, by the way. I'm human. And it's perfectly normal for someone to be tired. And I'm tired. And also, to tell you the truth, I don't feel appreciated.
Doesn't feel appreciated. He's tired. That's Coach Rulani Mokoena. But that's not all. He goes on to speak about the season they've had.
In fact, my players are the ones that are constantly saying to me, hey, can you sleep a little bit? We need you to sleep. They're on my case every day. They say to me, they're the first ones, can you sleep a little bit? But I can't sleep because the moment I sleep is the moment the people will beat us. And the only thing I know is to continue what we are doing with the results, with the performances, to improve even the performances, because they have to improve in what is a very, very abnormal season. It's an abnormal season. Last season, we didn't have the Telkom knockout. We played one extra game in that competition. Okay, we didn't have the AFL. And the AFL had 6 games, 3 games that you had to travel for. We didn't have AFCON, where we had Peter Shalulile at AFCON. Plus, I had 8-9 players from Sundowns playing almost every single game for. I don't have time for training. I can't train the team.
And yes, I'm very well aware of the fact that games have been moved. The PSL has moved some games. I think it's the Kaizer Chiefs versus Sundowns game by 2 days. I'm very well aware of that. I was just giving you the fixture congestion of what it looked like. Yes, now, things are being done to loosen it up a little bit, but I was just giving you a high-level look into the Sundowns season. The updated fixture list, of course, from the PSL says that Friday 26th, Monday 29th, Thursday 2nd May, and Sunday 5th of May is how it's all going to go down with Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns. But still, doesn't take away what we've said. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you on this. It's 086-000-2160, 060-552-7303 for your WhatsApps. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's just dabble a little bit in what's happening in the lower leagues. Who's coming in to play the likes of Sundowns?
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
The African football storyteller and whisperer Dennis Siram Kofi from Ghana, Algeria and Morocco, who've been at war since the 1960s. How did the sand wall become a wall of 2 soccer teams that didn't take to the field?
For me, I think it's quite unfortunate that in 2024 we are having such a history which dates back to long ago affecting the game. We could be able to date back to as far as 1975. That is a very long time ago. Myself, I wasn't born in 1975. I don't know for you yet, but myself, I wasn't born. But that's how far the issue dates between the 2 countries. So it's quite unfortunate, especially at the level it happened at the semi-final stage of the CAF Confederations Cup, which is literally the 2nd biggest club football event in Africa.
6 to 7 p.m. Y'all ready? The Metro FM Music Awards 2024. Black to the Future.
The nominees for Song of the Year: Oscar Mbo and KG Smalls, featuring Dear Son, Murder, and Mo Keys. Yes, God, the Mo Keys remix. Gamompela, featuring Baby SON, Tyler ICU, and Khalil Harrison, Dali. Tyler, Water.
Make me sweat, make me harder.
Kabza de Small and Mtunzi, featuring DJ Maporisa, Young Stunner, Sizwe Alekine, and Umtagati Kush, Imitandazo. Dala Tugzin, featuring Zaba and Sykes, Iplan. DJ Kent, featuring Mo T, Brendan Praise, Murder, and Tugzin. Horns in the Sun, the Tugzin remix. ICU, featuring Tumelo ZA, DJ Maporisa, Nandipa 808, Sika RSA, and Tyrone D. Nike. Basi and Amos, featuring T-Man SA, Izenzo. Damtuda and the Musical Chef, featuring Emo and Sipho Makutulela, Scootie's Nice. DJ Storky, featuring Emo Mastogoze.
To vote, dial *120*45787#. USSD rates charged at R1.50 per minute. The Metro FM Music Awards 2024.
Are you ready for an amazing night?
Brought to you by the Mpumalanga Provincial Government. Visit and explore Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Metro FM, it's where you want to be. T's and C's apply. Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
I see somebody asking, Andile, is South Africa perhaps not used to having a team that is as big as what Sundowns have become on the continent, and therefore we don't know how to deal or treat such royalty? Not me. It's a tweet. We're going to go on, of course, to read some of your, to listen to some of your WhatsApps. So many WhatsApps coming in, and you can send yours on 060-552-7303. Timmy, we're supposed to have another interview today. Can we please cancel? Get on the mic. Get Timmy on the mic. Can we please cancel it? We haven't heard people's voices on this show in a very long time.
Yeah.
So after our conversation with Lopani,
yeah,
let's take calls and let's listen to voice notes. People have a lot to say about what's happening in this country, and let's give them their time, please.
In fact, yesterday we didn't have time to give them the time.
So please, today.
And also on Monday, it was just, I think, 3 calls or 4 calls. So today, you've got the time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's the producer there, Timmy Miranda. Let's go straight into it, though, and speak about the NFD, because there's 5 games to go in the Motsepe Foundation Championship, and they're going to determine who is coming into this quagmire of the DStv Premiership that we speak of every single week. Magesi are the front runners. With 25 games played, they're sitting on 49 points. In second place is the University of Pretoria with 44 points. There's a 5 points difference between the leaders there and second place. In third place, of course, still in tune to play in the playoffs, is Castrick Stars. Who coaches Castrick Stars? Thabo Ntete, former Mamelodi Sundowns defender. Thabo Ntete is the coach there with 38 points. And then under that, Timmy T's team is wearing the jersey even now, JDR Stars. They're sitting on 38 points, tied with Castrick Stars. But Orbit College in 5th, Baroka. Remember, we had Dan Dance here. He said, I have one thing to do, and it's to qualify the team. He's got 36 points. He can still get in, perhaps, within that playoff spot. But he has to win all his remaining games, and a little bit of hope that others do him a favor at this point. But let's find out from a man who keeps an eye on what's happening down there. Football reporter based in Limpopo, and he's a Far Post reporter as well. Opani Munyai. Opani.
Evening, Andile. Evening to your listeners. Good to be on your show.
Listen, man, out of nowhere, people are asking me, who is this Magesi?
Well, Magesi, it's a club that is not really new to the Motsepe Foundationship or just National First Division. You remember in 2016 they were promoted to the league, and but they were eventually also relegated in the same season. They were again promoted last season. They were fighting for relegation, but I'm sure you have realized now that it's a club that has surprised many in just their second season. I honestly didn't see them as one of those teams that will be fighting for promotion, not because they're not capable, but I think one thing that they've done well, and they've signed well. They have a balanced squad. They do the basics, which is to win games. And the interesting part here is that, out of the 14 games that they've won this season, 9 of them were away. So what they do is that they win at home, but they also win games away. So that's why they find themselves in the top and on the verge of acquiring that promotion to the DStv Premiership.
But also, you forget they've got an experienced coach.
Absolutely, I think it was a right move to bring in Coach Clinton Lassen towards the end of last season, because they were struggling a bit with the coach that got them promoted, Jackie Lidwaba. Actually, it was Coach Jackie that had suggested that he wanted someone with a bit of experience, someone that will guide him, and I think they got their man in Clinton Lassen. I mean, he has been there before, and he seems to have found a balance. He has brought in players that he has worked with a lot, and they seem to be responding, and that's why they find themselves here. So I think big ups as well to Coach Clinton for taking Magesi to where they are now.
You look at where Magesi is at the moment, and you look at where University of Pretoria, there's a 5 points difference. It's not much when you still have 5 games, because then that's 15 points still to play for. But there seems to be a rumbling that this Magesi team is undoubtedly coming all the way. Why is it that people feel like they can't be caught?
I think they won. I would say their game against Amatax for me was a bit of a decider. Like you said, there's still 16 points to play for, but it will be And for me, I don't think it's theirs to lose, and I don't see them really losing. I mean, I looked at their last 5 games as well, and I feel like honestly, as much as it will be difficult games, but I mean, looking at the games against Maritzburg, which for me, if they win, obviously it will be cementing more of their place, and as well, City Rovers and Milford as well will be tricky because these are teams that are fighting for relegation, if I have to say. But the game against Catholic as well, which will be their second last game of the season, might have a lot of meaning because Catholic as well might be playing for to secure that promotion playoff spot. The game against Venda as well. It's a game, last game of the season. It's a game that obviously Venda are also fighting for relegation. But I don't see them anyone stopping Magezi. If you look at the log, actually it's Magezi and JDR Stars who are on form. I mean, for the last 5 games they have not lost, and I mean, look, they are picking up their form at the right time with only 5 games to go. For me, 3 wins would be enough for them to secure promotion to the DSTV Premiership.
I look at the team. I mean, I recognize some names, obviously, because of their previous experience. The likes of Mekwa, there's Manzini as well. But it's not a star-studded team from previously experienced PSL players, etc. It's a lot of new names and a lot of established names in the lower leagues.
Absolutely. And I think someone maybe should to start at the back. They have someone like Elvis Perez. I really think Elvis has come on for them and saved them quite a few times. He has shown a bit of maturity. We all know Elvis as someone that is branded as someone that just wastes time and all those things. But I think he is the captain now this season, and he has shown some leadership qualities. You did say Rulani Manzini. He has come on for them for the last 2 games and scored an equalizer in a game against Angry Lions where we thought that they have lost. He scored the winner against Amatax in a game that was very crucial. They've got Edmo Chiramadare, someone that was released by Venda FC in December. I mean, it caught us a lot by surprise because with Edmond, you have a goal or an assist, and Wanda Boy Makub, who's a loan from Skokuna United, he has been on fire. I mean, he's scoring goals. You have got Dapo, the Ghanaian midfielder. He has been a solid. You mentioned Dillon, Andile. So they've got a balanced squad. They also have some young stars in them that also has come on for them. So I think the main thing for them is that they knew who to sign and why they're signing those players.
And then we've got to speak about the other potentials to come into the DSTV Premiership, of course, via the play of sport as well. When you see this season and what teams like Amatax, for instance, Castric Stars, JDR Stars, all the way to Baroka, because it's still open for those 2 spots as to who can also come through. The playoffs, always a tough one. In the last couple of years, we've seen the DSTV Premiership teams do better here. When you look at the competitiveness of this lower league, how's it been going in comparison to what we're seeing with the lower teams, Cape Town Spurs, Richards Bay, etc., in the DSTV Premiership?
I think, Andile, if you thought last season we had a photo finish in the Motsepe Foundation Championship, you should brace yourself for this season. I think this is one of the seasons that we are going to see some exciting finish in the league. As you mentioned, I mean, Amatax as well, Catholic Stars, they were there last season. They nearly snatched it at the end, but they failed. JDR Stars, for me, it's a favorite because, like I said, they are picking up at the right time. They've not lost, and they've got a top goal scorer in that team, so they've got goals in them, Orbit College, for me, I'm a bit worried. I don't think they'll be one of those teams that will finish in the top 3 for me because, look, for the better part of the season, they've been there, they've been in the top, but look, they've got a very great coach. But look, sometimes, they're also a surprise package for me. Sometimes in this league, experience is needed. But look, Baroka as well is coming. Coach Dan, when he came, he made a lot of impact. I think he won he went 8 games unbeaten, and that's why Baroka they are where they are now. Uppington City as well. I mean, it was the team that also has brought in Coach Brendan Futter, and those are the teams for me that I think will be in the top 3 come the end of the season. But if I were to put my head in a block, I think JDR and obviously Amatax for me will be in the top 3, and also Magezi is the number 1.
What about players? Any outstanding players? Any, lots of goals being scored, lots of assist players to watch out for, players that we could even perhaps see in the DSTV Premiership with big teams or any team really that have impressed?
Absolutely. I will also start with Atisang Basi, the 41-year-old from Orbit College. Look, we have to give it to him. I think he's played around 22 league matches at that age. You know, sometimes players are ruled out once they reach that level or that age. Prince Numalo, for me, has revived this career at JDR. We have to give it to Coach Namasisi as well. I mean, he has a way of bringing the best out of these players. With 15 goals now, the last time he scored, he had a double figure was at Ajax Cape Town, now Cape Town Spurs. Chris Matombo as well. I saw in I think it was in the first or second match when they were playing against Black Leopards was it Venda FC in Toronto. Actually, it was Venda FC. I was very impressed. I think it's a boy that, at some point his career was going downward, but he has picked up. He's one of the form players. Edmo, like I said, Chirambadara. Besides Chauke, he's a player that has played at Baroka FC. He's now at Catholic. He has scored some 10 goals. He's a boy that is very capable, a striker that I think he used to play for Sporting at some point. And in Betwell was there when he came last season. Namibians were saying South Africans finally have a replacement or another Peter Shalulile. Actually, when I spoke to him last season, he said to me he's going to score 15 goals. But unfortunately, that was not the seed to be, because, as you know, Black Leopards were relegated because obviously the results were not forthcoming. Edward Muova is Amatax goalkeeper. I think he has saved them a lot. He has been key for that team, and I believe that this is a player that we should find playing in the DSTV Premiership next season if Amatax don't really get promoted. Tabang Sivanyoni as well, and I think he has been good. Samuel Julius for Amatax has been leading by example. There's a player from Maroka, Cabello Kositile. This is one for the future. I think you should remember the name. This boy is a gem. I spoke to the chairman of the club, Baroka, at some point in December, and just talking about if he has had offers, because this boy, Andile, was promoted when the club was still in the DSTV Premiership. He was playing in the DDC at the time. But last season he came on board, and this season is actually one of their star players, and he's a gem, and I can tell you now. But the fact that Baroka as well have got players like Matume Matiane, remember the former Golden Arrows captain, and Lifono Lononyane at the back, you know, for me, that has counted on their favor, because they've got a lot of experience, Andile. So I think for me, those are some of the players for me that stood out this season. Obviously, if you go to Uppington City, they've got Keleto Makalo. 8 goals already. I mean, it's someone that was released by Sundowns, and people were worried. But look, he has come back, and I think he's knocking at that door to return to the DSTV Premiership come next season. Andile.
Opani Munyai, I appreciate it. We'll talk perhaps on the last day as well with all that we've got to do. I really appreciate you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure, Andile. Your time.
1842. We hand over now to you. The numbers once again 086 0002160. WhatsApp on 060 552 7303.
Y'all ready? The Metro FM Music Awards 2024. Black to the Future.
The nominees for Song of the Year: Oscar Mbo and KG Smalls, featuring Dear Son, Murder, and Mo Keys. Yes, God, the Mo Keys remix. Gamompela, featuring Baby SON, Tyler ICU, and Khalil Harrison, Dali. Tyler, Water.
Baby sweat, baby harder.
Kabza de Small and Mtunzi, featuring DJ Maporisa, Young Stunner, Sizwe Alekine, and Umtagati Kush, Imitandazo. Dala Tugzin, featuring Zaba and Sykes, Iplan. DJ Kent, featuring Mo T, Brendan Praise, Murder, and Tugzin. Horns in the Sun, the Tugzin remix. ICU, featuring Tumelo ZA, DJ Maporisa, Nandipa 808, Sika RSA, and Tyrone D. Nike. Basi and Amos, featuring T-Man SA, Izenzo. Damtuda and the Musical Chef, featuring Emo and Sipo Makutulela, Scoodis Nice. DJ Storky featuring Emo Mastogoze.
To vote, dial *120 45787 hash. USSD rates charged at R1.50 per minute. The Metro FM Music Awards 2024.
Are you ready for an amazing night?
Brought to you by the Mpumalanga Provincial Government. Visit and explore Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Metro FM, it's where you want to be. T's and C's apply.
All right, here we go.
Call Metro FM now on 0860 002160. Drop us a voice note on 060 552 7303.
Waking up, I'm too turned up.
It's Louis from Tembisa. What PSL do to Sundowns, it's unfair, It's really unfair. They should have postponed those games in J to give Sundowns a space to play their normal football. You can see they don't play their normal football because of their tired. What PSL do to Sundowns is really unfair. Thank you.
Andile, Nicholas in Cape Town. Andile, I think it is for the best that Rulani should not complain about the players' fatigue and so forth. He must just organize his players very well, even if he takes the whole team to Africa when he's got matches that needs to be played in Africa within the CAF. You must just sort out the story and come back and do the job. And I don't think it is good for him to complain about the fatigue. It's whereby he's going to lose the focus. That is my opinion as a Sundowns lover, Sundowns supporter.
Andile, good evening, my brother. I think the thing that Sundowns are playing many games is because they perform well. They perform well and they qualify for many tournaments, and they've got a very big and capable squad. They can play. I think they are capable of playing, and they can win most of the games and win most cups. I wish them good luck on Friday against Esperance in their second leg. Thank you.
Hi, great show as always. So this is what I think regarding Sundowns. You know, it's unfortunate that they under so much pressure, but I think this is what makes them stand out. You know, the amount of pressure and they have to put themselves in, and they still give us such excellent results. I think if anything, then the teams in South Africa and the rest of Africa need to learn from this, because they're not using their schedule as an excuse. I remember sometime last year there was a problem with regards to, you know, the games that they're playing, and they were complaining and all of that. But I think that this is why it sets them apart from the rest of the PSL teams in South Africa, and also CAF as well. So I think they must, this is going to pay out for them, you know, so they must just keep it up. Yeah, it's hard, but then, yeah, such is life, eh?
It's Lokshin here, Menda PMP boy. For me, I'm a Kaizer fan, but I don't feel sorry for Mamelodi Sundowns. Look, nobody kidnapped them so they can play all these games by force. Want to play, if they don't want to play, they won't. So, we don't care.
Well, we are the only team in CAF representing the country, even though Chiefs and Pirates, even the PSL don't see it that way. This Al Ahly, Esperance are not treated like this in their own countries. We see these things, we are watching, and yeah, we're just watching. Let them continue, but we can see what's happening. Thanks, it's Malcolm X.
Thank you.
Good evening, Andile. It's Rolando from Mamelodi.
Another Rolando from Mamelodi.
Mamelodi Sundowns has players. They have players. They have quality players. They sign each and every season, and they sign quality. So they coming to complain about fatigue. Why are they complaining about fatigue?
How many players does Sundowns have?
If they can rest Mshishi, they can play Mkhulisi. So why are they signing players that they don't want to use in a congested fixture like this? Let them play Mkhulisi and rest Mshishi, because Mshishi will play a Champions League. It's congested. Some way, somehow, PSL can't do anything about it, but to fixture them and play.
Okay.
Andile, is Mr. M here. What's happening to Mamelodi Sundowns is crazy. There's no support coming from the PSL. And you know, I normally blame SAFA for not developing the football of South Africa, but now PSL are proving not to be supportive of Sundowns, and they are not pro to the development of the game in South Africa. And this is sad to see that administratively we are led by people who don't care about the game of football. You know, it's disappointing, Mr. M.
Let me tell you, at registration at the beginning of the season, right? Because the numbers they're different now because some players have let go of players, but at registration, Sundowns registered 42 players, Orlando Pirates 37, Sekhukhune 39. Do you remember Sekhukhune? Because they had an influx of those players that came in. 39. That's 3 less than Sundowns. Then you had a team like Cape Town Spurs with 43. That's 1 more than Sundowns. So when we say they have lots of players, do they have a lot of quality players, perhaps is what you're trying to say? We can have that, but do they have a lot more players? You have a team with not many players, like Stellenbosch, who's on 24 players, Cape Town City, 26 players. We can have that conversation. But teams in their 40s, Sundowns are in their 40s. You got Cape Town Spurs, they're in their 40s, in their late 30s. You'll have Orlando Pirates that it's in the late 30s as well. And Moroka Swallows at some point that was in their late 30s as well. So I don't know about that. Let's take your calls now.
Get ready to save big with ShopRite Extra Savings, bringing you instant cash savings on over 1,000 deals, like a 5 kg pack of Goldie or Farmer's Choice frozen mixed chicken portions for $179.99 each, 750 grams Crystal Valley Gouda or cheddar cheese for $99.99 each, and 750 grams Cremora Creamer for only $54.99. Offers valid until 12 May. Make saving simple with extra savings, only at ShopRite.
A massive share of 3 million rand is up for grabs in the Hollywood Bet Spinner Zonke jackpot race. Bet for 2 rand or more from 8:30 p.m. every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night. Hollywood Bets, take a spin with us. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
The new Galaxy A series celebrates those who only do awesome. Love being on your favorite social media sites viewing awesome video content? Then you'll love the Galaxy A35 5G. Its large vision booster display will take your viewing from to awesome in one touch of the screen. And whether you're viewing by the poolside or the bush side, you can chill because it's also water and dust resistant. Samsung Galaxy A series. Awesome is for everyone.
All right, here we go. Call Metro FM now on 0860 002160.
All right, here we go. Peter is out in Brits. Want to speak about Rulani. Peter.
Yes, sir. How is
it? Sharp.
Yeah, man, I understand what Rulani is saying. And fatigue. Yes, that's the reality. But Rulani wants PSL to do what? To postpone Mamelodi Sundowns games. Remember, our league ends around May. We don't have the league in South Africa, especially DSTV. That will end on maybe June and all that. But what must the PSL do? Because they're still complaining. And this thing has been happening. Sundowns has been competing for this CAF championship for such a long time. It can be 6 years now, facing these kind of things every time. So complaining and all of this. And he was there, remember. Even Peter, when Peter was there, he was things like this was happening.
So what do you say?
So my worry is he cannot complain. They must just go and play. I'm not saying they've got a lot of players. I know they've got quality, but they don't have a lot of players. But they've got good players that can compete in the two different things. And then the other thing that they must do, if they think they can they are going to feel pressure, they must not compete in a different cups. For example, Nedbank, they're in the semi-final now. Some of the cups they have to say, no, this cup we don't want. Because I'm definitely sure that Mamelodi Sundowns, they want DSTV and then they want CAF Champions.
I think from what, and this is not my thoughts, from what Sundowns have said, from what the coach has said, they want to win everything they play.
Yeah, but if you want to win everything that you play, so if then when you win it, when you go to the final, and maybe they go to final of the Champions League, they go to the final of the Nedbank Cup. What is what maybe they've got a different of the 3 days. What are we going to do now? Because remember, there is a time where Pirates have to play Chiefs.
safety and issues around hijackings and the scourge around spiking incidences. We're going to be in conversation with Operation Director at Anti-Hijacking and Policing South Africa, as well as the Gauteng Traffic Police spokesperson. Here's something that I don't know if you've known, but we're going to be interrogating it as a collective this evening. There's so many South Africans that cannot buy houses, and therefore we are experiencing a decline in home ownership. So it is a big conversation that we're having this evening.
It's
we are
so
experiencing,
expensive, guys.
right?
Sure.
Home ownership.
Hey.
And I think more than being expensive is the home purchasing part.
Sure.
Because there's so many hidden costs that a lot of us are not, like buying my first home, I didn't know some of the costs that were attached to it, and you only find out later.
And these are cash costs that the bank is
Thank
not giving you.
And then never mind owning the home, now it's maintaining the home, which is something else, right? And then interest rates that continuously go up.
When you
right?
start, it's 5,000 a month. Now
By
you're
the
paying
time,
12.
Exactly. So that is exactly what we're getting into this evening, especially for first-time home buyers. I mean, they're even experiencing an age difference now in terms of first-time home buyers, where you had early 30s. People are just putting it off because they just simply can't afford. So that's going to be a conversation that we're having after 8 o'clock.
Well, I can't wait for that. It's 5 after the hour 7. I've got to get out of here. Sport at 10 this evening on SABC 1 at 10 o'clock. Do make sure that you do catch us. Great show. Faith again opens the door. There's that squeak. Guys, it's because everything and everybody is in Mpumalanga right now, okay? So do forgive us. Even Spray Sailor. Silo Mpumalanga. Gotta get out of here. Thank you for being part of the show. Pera. And so be.
Live from coast to coast and to the world.
Favorite station on blast?
At metrofm.co.za. Metro FM.